Constar hailing frequencies are open.
Okay, we're on.
The opinions expressed in tonight's podcast are those of the individuals speaking. They do not necessarily reflect the views of Harrisfilm Productions or its other crew members.
Greetings, this is Steve Harry Harris and the Harrisfilm crew with another fan film review where we have a watch party and discuss the fan film that we're watching right afterwards. We're doing our part trying to help all of the fan film makers get a little bit more publicity by exposing our viewers to your stuff on our channel.
Tonight, we have Ian Burke.
Good evening, everyone.
Ken Mays with the Battleship Yamato. Mark Ferguson. Roy Ivey. And last but not least, Matt Arnold. Okay, tonight we're watching a live stream of the premiere of Sean Reimer's new film, Kill All Your Friends. Here we go.
The end of a picture is always the end of a life. You laugh. Honestly, I feel like...
Oh, that sort of a picture. I understand.
Yes. I feel like this film, I feel like it encompasses that, and as well, Constar the motion picture, but like this
guy's actually
sort of, it's the last fragment of a life that I don't live anymore, and I'm really happy I don't.
He's fun on their shows too.
So I'm happy that that chapter can go out with a bang tonight. You know, I'm so curious what people in here expect.
So this is the story of how he ends up in the cell in Constar?
Yeah.
Roy says, true, just try to remember the way out. I don't know. Harrisfilm was watching the live stream of the premiere. Roy Ivey will be representing our group here. See you soon. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so there's the video of me being scared by a mouse today.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Screamed.
I did scream, yes.
Time for me to
Here he goes. Well, that's going to be tiny.
Okay, I'll go over here.
Yeah.
I guess I can watch it.
Watch from here. And Vance has made it into the chat. Right on cue, buddy.
I guess he wants
Hold
to
on to
see
your
who's
butts and
chatting.
buckle your seatbelts.
Tell me about it. You're going to need it after this.
Yeah.
Frank is more hip with the slang than I am. Okay, here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
See it.
Still 1 hour later.
Yes.
I had to do that.
Oh man.
This was fun getting this done.
Computer and program.
Captain's log. Stardate's rather pointless if you ask me. It's not like I'm gonna lose my memory or anything.
You idiot.
Plus, what's the point in Starfleet reading this? They know I'm going to Chemestria. Apparently, the Constar is the closest ship in range, whatever that's supposed to mean. I think Grissom is giving me the easiest assignments possible. It's not my fault first contact with the Wazoians went so wrong. Tesla won't let me forget it. At least she's smuggling Paradoxin behind our doctor's back. Still, I need to get away from her for a bit.
Sanders to Tesla? Tesla, I'm using your cane in a fight with Ambassador Worf. You want to come watch? Damn. Okay. Computer, locate Admiral Grissom and open a channel.
Bloody hell, Sanders. What happened?
I got into a fight with Emperor Crusher in the Mirror Universe.
Wow, really?
Doubt it. It's the best I got so far.
Captain, knock it off. What's going on?
That's the thing, Admiral. I haven't got a clue.
Is that irumodic syndrome again? I knew I shouldn't have sent you to Chemistria.
I said in my log that we were going to Chemistria, but the Constar is hundreds of light years away. I don't even think we went.
Or you lost memory of an entire mission.
Oh, here we go.
And an innocent Chemestrian test pilot is on life support. And his crew is dead. And we still have no idea what happened.
Well, whose fault is that for restricting my access to Paradoxin?
That's what happens when you abuse them. Contrary to popular belief, you can't command a starship when intoxicated and can't see.
Working on one of those ships.
What are you doing?
Someone must have reported to Chemistria.
That's your job, Captain. You never report to Starfleet. Why haven't you sent your crew reports?
I try, but their reports put me to sleep like V'ger.
The only reason I know the Constar hasn't gone into warp 9000 into a black hole is because Lieutenant Tesla sends me reports.
So much for confidentiality.
I ordered her to. Command wants you
How's
up
that?
for psychiatric evaluation.
Oh, come on, Sam.
That is Admiral to you.
I don't know why you'd want to be called by your last name. No one names a good ship Grissom.
You know, I should call you Colonel, just like Anthony does. He and Tesla are the only reason you're still in the captain's chair. By the way, where is Tesla? I should have received another report from her by now.
Ah, yeah, about that. I played hooky.
What does hockey have to do with it?
Wow, paging Admiral Keller. I ditched. She's giving me the silent treatment.
She's in enough pain, Chris.
I know. She feels like she needs it too. What's the point of all this, Admiral? I joined Starfleet to change things. To make things better. But now what? My courses and the ships don't match.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. You need to remember this, especially now that we need captains that don't put our entire galaxy at risk.
You know, someone once said that risk is part of the game if you want to sit in that chair. What was his name?
Schmirk?
Burke.
Clerk?
Oddly enough, it was a bridge that killed him.
Regardless, you lead the many. We fulfill your needs. What about the few? Or her? It's a domino effect with Tesla. People suffer when she does.
Like you?
I'd kill her. If I had to.
So she won't suffer, or so you won't. Look, Captain, I don't know what happened on Chemistria or where the hell the Constar is, but enough is enough. Either give me a detailed report of what happened without sarcasm, or consider your Starfleet commission revoked. Lobato's the only friend you've got right now. I recommend you use him to retrace your steps.
come on. He's doing actual cool stuff on the Rain Cross.
He'll help. He's a good man. Unlike you.
Ooh,
Grissom out.
That was a stab in the back.
in the heart.
Yeah.
He's not going to like this.
You know him.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Hey, bestie.
I'm afraid to ask.
I killed a swan playing golf on the holodeck.
You golf?
No! It's a worse sport than hockey.
Yep.
Chris, what did you do now? We talked about this after the incident with the Wasains.
It's Wazoians. I wish I could say I was as memorable as them.
You're the only person I know who could call being covered in blood boring.
It's literally unmemorable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine it gets worse from the withdrawals. You walked into this. You know you can't be abusing this sort of stuff. Look what happened to Eric with the quad lithium.
I don't need an I told you so. I need your help. I have no clue where Tesla is or how I got here.
Wow. For once, Chris Sanders, captain of the Constar, needs my help.
Real subtle.
I'm joking. I'm your friend, Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Sure you are.
Lovato.
Okay. So what is the evidence telling you?
Not much. My log was a dead end.
Figures. You're not exactly some teenage girl with her diary. Ask your XO, whoever that is at this point.
Regulation 619 may sound appealing to some, but not me.
Well, forgive me, but I can't really do much with not being there. Have you checked where Katrina is on the Constar?
Good point. Computer, locate Lieutenant Katrina Tesler.
Lieutenant Katrina Tesler cannot be located.
Damn.
She had to have left something behind to indicate where she is.
Agreed.
Check her logs.
Wait. She did.
Ditch again, cut off. What does that mean?
Cripple Claws left me a present.
I thought they cut you off.
Last one. I gotta make it count.
This better work.
Buckle your seatbelt.
Goddamn need it.
Now that's awesome.
Chris, what's going on?
I was on Chemestria.
That's a start. Did you find the test pilot?
Which one?
The one that was still alive, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, they kind of all look like they were out of a Top Gear episode.
The main pilot, though. You saw him.
He was in bad shape. I was trying to get him beamed to sickbay.
Why wasn't there a med team that beamed down with you?
Because then Tesla would have been there. Besides, I got this.
Okay, so you beamed him to sickbay.
I couldn't.
I've sworn off using those transporters. I can't after an accident like that.
Makes sense. You're all about the journey and not the destination, but considering you're about to reach your final destination, I recommend you suck it up, Nancy.
That's the point, Captain. And I know you know the point.
You're giving up?
He's giving up?
Hush. Mom and Dad are talking.
Sorry.
I can't stand being this. They call me a survivor, but that's the thing. People check out once you've survived. I know my body can heal, but that's all I am, Captain. A shell. Who I am or who I was died with my crew, with my friends, and everyone calls me an inspiration to keep going despite everything. What's inspirational about sleepwalking?
Then you need to wake up. You're delusional.
You're a hypocrite.
Remind me never to invite you to my deathbed.
Well, he started it.
No, you did.
If you insist on being nonsensical, don't be surprised when someone with an actual brain calls you out on it.
They're not being nonsensical for calling you a hypocrite. It just implies that they might know something about you.
I've never met them. I've never even been to Chemestria.
And it shows. The Chemestrians are very critical of their failure.
Big whoop. You don't think I felt something after White died?
Last time I checked, you weren't expecting to be executed for that failure. Chemestrians don't believe in redemption. They believe in taking what they need as a species and then getting rid of the weakest link. An aggressive form of a death penalty, I admit, but it's not just a law, it's an expectation. If you cause the death of anyone, expect to face the same fate.
That's what happened next.
Looks like everyone in the quadrant knows the truth about me. From my experience, you don't get to be in my position without loss, without sacrifice. That's how you grow. Make sure the loss means something.
Loss doesn't make you grow, it's a virus. It invades who you are fundamentally, unplugging things one by one until there's nothing left. They say space is the final frontier. It isn't. The mind continues to elude us.
Even my own.
Then you understand.
I've gotten used to losing my crew. They go admirably. For those final moments, they're the best versions of themselves. The ones that are left behind struggle. The only thing worse than guilt is when something isn't your fault. When you do everything right and you're still left picking up the pieces. I don't even know what pieces are real anymore. I know I'll die a shadow of who I was.
Then let this be the best version of me. Any alternative, including a fate by my own hand, would destroy the one thing that is left of me. The memories that people hold of me.
You want me to justify murder? I know I'm cold, but come on.
I know you've justified it before. Like you said, you can't get to where you are without loss. And believe me, Captain, it's not a loss. It's peace beyond the pain.
No. Chris, you didn't.
Set phaser to splatter. See?
Yeah. Ooh.
You're
he must have had on daggum
you're
cutting
sick.
beam or something.
He was sicker.
Do you plan on using that as a defense? You're going down a path that no one in the right mind would follow.
You said it yourself. Chemestrians eliminate the weak, the guilty, the inefficient.
Chemestrians do, Chris, not you. And besides, you didn't kill a Chemestrian.
What are you saying?
What?
Chemestrian blood is green.
I couldn't have. There's got to be something in the phaser logs. It's
Killed Lieutenant Tesla.
It's Tesla's.
Her phaser.
Yeah. And
what?
Apparently I killed her. That's why he blacked out. There's a king. And we're going to take the mask off. I knew it was a woman by the voice.
her blood. Her body. It was her.
The whole thing. You hallucinated the murder of one of your own.
I couldn't have. I was on Chemestria. I had to be on Chemestria.
Grissom was right. Everyone was right. You've lost it, man. I trusted you.
That can't be what happened. It's got to be another hallucination. Everything she said. don't even know if I don't even know if it was real. If she said any of it, I don't know. I don't know who I am, man.
You're a murderer. You're a disgrace to that stupid rocking chair. To the ship.
Anthony, you know who I am. We saved the Abard.
Don't you dare bring him into this. He's a kid. And he's still more of a man than you'll ever be.
Tony, please, you're my friend.
Not anymore.
We're not friends. I don't think we ever were. You've killed all your friends.
Ooh.
By Starfleet Regulation 619, Christopher Sanders is effectively relieved of his command of the USS Constar. Furthermore, he shall be stripped of captaincy and confined to his quarters until he is apprehended for the suspected murder of Lieutenant Katrina Tesler. The Constar will report to the nearest Federation base and will await further instructions from Starfleet Command. Christopher Sanders is considered extremely dangerous and shall be lethally fired upon if he disobeys these orders.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Tell me about it.
No offense, Sanders, but I hope you get everything coming to you.
Good acting.
Yeah.
Hey, you, buddy.
Daniel's typing in Japanese. Roy's going OMG. Frank's going bravo. Josh going damn, that's intense. That's emojis? Oh, it is. Oh, wow, I'm old. I'm giving you a standing ovation. Thank you.
Wow.
I tell you what, this was one of the weirdest films I've seen so far. It's like a cliff. It's a cliffhanger, and also it's what the hell's going on? What reality he's bouncing back and forth from?
Yeah.
So far, right now, he has no friends whatsoever because just about everybody around him dies.
Yep.
I wonder what reality he's stuck in now.
That's a good question.
So the drug he's taking makes him
hallucinate.
But the hallucination was a remembering of what happened.
That's what I thought too. I don't know.
So why is he cleared for the captaincy if he has this issue? That seems like a major issue that Command would take issue with.
On the other story, in one of the other stories that he was in, he's from an alternate reality.
Mm-hmm.
You got two different versions of them. Could it be one of the ones that the versions he went one of the two versions of him? And he bounced between three, four different versions of him, just bouncing from a different reality.
I guess if he's doing that, he has that same issue that Yor and Georgiou and Spock all had too.
Yeah,
where he's destabilized.
Yeah. That's the thing is, in the Constar universe, they bounce between dimensions and times, and he goes fast and loose with a bunch of stuff like mirror universe, all that.
Caught the reference to the Kelvin universe, and it was like,
right.
That
it's part of what it is now, and
right.
You guys have to remember the Kelvinverse, like to younger generations, has a bigger impact, and it is part of the lore now because. Like we had those older movies, that's what they had to go to the theater for their experience, which brings them in. So
it's
but not everybody's cup of tea.
It's an alternate timeline, but I don't really see them moving back and forth between those timelines. So
No, but the Constar people do.
why would they even be aware that there was a Kelvin timeline?
Because we
Hi
have
there,
established
Sean.
that the
Go.
Let me tell you, Sean, I was impressed. Now, I'll admit I haven't seen all of the films that your character's in, but I think this stands alone as a complete story. And with that said, I'm also very impressed, not just with the acting, but the visuals, the fact that your own room that you are broadcasting from right now is basically your set, and it integrates so well with your story.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of off topic a little bit. Got a little bit distracted, but to your left, is that a brain in a jar?
Yes. That's the real life Tesla's brain.
There's another brain over there, and I got a poster.
The thing you'll realize about this office, which I feel like adds to Sanders as a character, a lot of like there's some stuff that's like quintessentially mine. Like you look at Prometheus, the Enterprise. There, I even have. Well, let me move this. Where am I going here? If you look at like that's a painting of me. By someone who did a bunch of paintings of the people in Constar. But
There's a jar of body parts. There's a brain in there. There's an additional brain. I have like 6.
but there's a lot in this office that is Lexus, who plays Tesla. So it's really a sort of an integration of both of our identities, and that's kind of created the Sanders aesthetic per se.
All right. Any other questions there, Ken?
No, the brain just threw me off. I was looking at it and going, is that a brain?
On top of all of that, the sound is fantastic. I couldn't believe I thought I was in a sense-around cinema, So let me just say, I give you 2 thumbs up on this particular production.
Thank you, Steve. And to hear you say, well, obviously, I'm really happy with the visuals. I had when I was making this, it was near the end of production. And then Final Cut came out with a magnetic mask feature, and I was like, I can use that for like a bit of visual storytelling there, because I love the selective color effect. I just didn't want to have to manually rotoscope, and I think I don't want to plug Apple, but thank you, Apple. But to hear you say the sound, that finally I've created something with some decent sound. That's
awesome.
Watching those videos about audio mixing, it means a lot. That's probably the best compliment I'll say beyond anything else.
So did you do that in Adobe, or did you do that
Final
in
Cut in Final Cut Pro?
That's what I thought.
A little bit of Hitfilm, which is it's a dead program, but I did that for some of the phaser stuff, and then the hologram for the sort of phaser login screen, which was I thought the best way to convey that it was Tesla's phaser. So
that was fantastic, by the way. That's the type of filmmaking that I've been talking about with these other films. Some people do combox movies, and that's fine, and they are what they are. But then there's the other style of filmmaking, which is closer to actual movie making, like you would actually go to a cinema to see, or old classic television, where you actually show a close-up of somebody's hand holding something, or turning a switch, or pushing a button, or all those little nuanced things that we do every day without even thinking about. But when you see it on the screen, it reinforces the activity that's going on, and it gives it a more full ambiance for the entire story. So, if I were your filmmaker professor, you would have had an A+. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, because I knew this was it was always going to be a combox film. Like the previous film I had come out this year, Blue Nose, like that was very much like me doing everything. But for this one, like from the very beginning, I was like, I need help. Frank was like he was always in the story. It was and I was kind of because Vance knew about this script because I wrote this 2 years ago. Like this has been sitting on the shelf for a long time, and I was talking to him about it, and immediately he referenced Frank to kind of have the admiral perspective of kind of getting Sanders into line and that sort of thing. And then the original draft of the script, which was the only draft for a solid year and a half because just so much other stuff was going on, it had instead of Lobato, it was Menard. Instead of Paul, it was Vance, because I wrote it around. It's gonna sound bad, but 2 years ago I wrote this as an end to Sanders' character completely. Like I wrote this to kind of write myself off because I wasn't in a good headspace back then. So I put it. I made that character Menard because I wanted to kind of show how much that relationship had grown, and then completely destroy it at the end and make it irreversible, and then make the ending as also kind of up to interpretation. But throughout the course of, well, really this year with Constar, the motion picture coming out, and me being involved in that and that sort of thing, Vance, he was like, it wouldn't make sense with Menard at this point, but it would make sense with Paul since we've had that interaction in other films, and Paul's not in person to see Sanders in Constar the motion picture, so it works in the sense that Paul's character would be devastated by this, and also in the sense that I like how it's absolutely a tragedy, this, but I'm glad the motion picture is coming around to be able to really extend this story, which is why, like, I appreciate this as a prequel because it started out as a standalone film. It started off as a finale, but no, I'm really, really proud of it. I'm really proud that this year I was able to make this stuff, be able to get my head out of the fog and do it, and get the monkey off my back too, because this script was following me around for a long time and kind of haunting me. Like, I haven't done this yet. I'm not capable of doing this. So
I have two of those sitting on my back. One on each shoulder.
All have them. So,
your character has some issues.
I think that's an understatement, to say the least. So
it seemed like to me that character is like bouncing between 4 or 5 different realities.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
And the real Chris is every once in a while he bounced from one reality and back and don't know what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And very confused. And then when he gets back to his original reality, be more like just a dream, and that's it. That'd be good.
And on top of that, though, what era are you in? You're in the Picard era?
Picard, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought by the uniforms. So that's what I was trying to tell the guys here, is that Constar universe starts out in TOS.
It's a whole kind of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Like there's
You're in the STO universe, aren't you?
All over the place.
Well, yeah. I dabble in the STO. Well, I've done a film in the STO universe that I'll probably end up revisiting because I've created some characters in that. So if anything, it's just expanding the Constar universe to that too. So just it'll cover everything at some point and consume the universe as into a black hole of multiverses. So it throws me off too. She'll like just kind of chuck that in the middle of everything. So it's that's how Sanders ends up at the end of the motion picture. But yeah.
Roy has joined us. What do you have to say about the story?
Well, it did give us a chance to get into Sanders' head. He said that would happen.
You're welcome.
Right. Would you give it 2 thumbs up?
We're going straight for that? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Rip the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Yes. I do give it 2 thumbs up. It's I think you have to be in the right mood, whatever else. Kind of a horror flick or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
Psychological thriller.
There you go.
Thriller.
Yeah.
And it's a place you don't really want to be, but you can't turn away from it.
It's like a train wreck.
Yeah.
In a good way.
You always oh no, I had no idea he could go this bad.
And I feel bad. It came right after Greg's film yesterday. That was all Christmassy and whatnot, and then it just I was like, oh god, people are gonna be pissed. So
the edge of it is what I'm surprised by. Is it's not this what you went by, but you stayed with it. It's like you would think your natural reaction would be is to remove that blood,
right,
and stuff from your body. That you would you'd call somebody in. You'd have support. You'd have somebody else figuring this stuff out for you. It'd be like, and you did call for help, but you're not the only person on the ship. But somehow it was just you, and it's just part of Sanders' personality. So I think it was exciting, and I guess the story had to go there, and. I'm very interested to see what happens when we jump forward, with the Constar and see what happens. So that's going to be a wild ride.
I haven't seen Constar yet, but I'm looking forward to it because it's my first time. Because Steve has set me up with all my cool gigs that I have. He set me up with Krakatoa first, and then he said, help Vance out. So I got to be part of Constar, and I didn't even realize what I was going to be a part of when I started out. So I did the conference room, and then Vance came back at me and he asked me to do the brig set and so forth. So it's kind of cool to see how those things that I worked on, like I really didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I guess your compositor guys put it together the right way. But
Ian, I have to say it was an absolute honor to be able to stick my rocking chair in that brig, and you'll love how it turned out, and I really appreciate what you do.
Cool. And I was curious about the rocking chair because I saw how that was compositive, and then watching the film tonight, and there's that you just drop that reference to the rocking chair, and it's just like, oh, I want to see how that fits in the story. So
it became a running gag how, because like early on making the films, it would like I would have the green screen behind me, and I'd always be in my rocking chair. I don't actually have it in here. I don't regularly keep it in the office. It's in the living room. It's my proper gaming chair, but it just became a joke how because everything was filmed in green screen, Sanders would constantly be in different places, but yet the rocking chair would always be there. So it became a running joke that Sanders would just like drag the rocking chair wherever he needed to go. Like he'd be on a starbase that's under attack, and they'd be evacuating, and he'd be like, "Quick, let me grab the chair." He'd like strap it down in the escape pod or something. So I had to include. And the thing you'll find about this a lot, my way of writing, it's like I stick a lot of references in there. Not even Star Trek stuff. I stuck a Curb Your Enthusiasm reference. I stuck a Tommy Wiseau reference in there. So it's just kind of
the guy that had the movie The Room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I wanted to call out Tommy Wiseau as an alien because he is. But yeah, it's I had to reference it. I thought that line would be destructive, and then the you killed all your friends, all one of them. So yeah.
I'm the one that built the prison that you're in.
Oh, cool! Awesome. I was taking a look at that shot of me in the force field. That was lovely.
Yeah. It's really simple, but that was kind of fun to work on, and I was kind of just getting my start rolling with that. So
yes, well, Constar also is a little around.
I would say it's a giant movie. This is like
it is a giant movie, but
it's a giant movie like the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, it's all these individual stories feeding into it.
Right. That's what I was trying to say.
Sanders just did it tonight. Sanders is a big got to be a big, huge part of the Constar, you know. But
yeah,
there's half a dozen, maybe a dozen major plot lines that are going to be big in the Constar. Yeah, I mean,
right.
they're all running into each other, and they're all having their own ripple effect. You know, whatever else. This is it's going to be wild. You know.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is enough for just one film. You know, if Sanders can fill up this entire film, you know, and he's going to be along with, you know, a dozen other plot lines that are going to be in the movie. A lot of things are going to be happening. It's just this is going to be a huge event, you know, and it looks like it's going to deliver. I'm really impressed by it.
Same here, and you know, it would have been even longer if Vance had had all of his wishes fulfilled, because he
it would have easily been like 4 hours long.
And I'm telling you, it would have been 4 hours. If
I think Greg was telling me some behind the scenes stories about it. He was like, Sean, the rough cut's too long. Like, I don't know what I'm. So it's it's
tough to cut.
Having watched it, it's a much more manageable length. So time went by watching it. Like it flew. So that's a really good sign, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes. And Ian, one of your backgrounds is where Sean's going to be. So.
Yep, the brig scene.
Yeah,
rightfully
I was very impressed.
I did not expect it to be like this. I am not familiar with any of the back lore or whatnot of it, but when Vance was kind of like setting up the scenes, it was like somewhat the atmosphere of Prodigy with the visual aspect of Picard.
Right.
So I thought this was a story more centered around the cadets, and like you see a lot of Vance's kid and so forth, and which that kid's adorable, and like
he is,
and so forth.
Yep.
So like now seeing that this prequel is so much darker and surreal really makes me wonder about what I'm going to see of the end product. And it's exciting that you work on something and you have no idea what it's going to look like at the end.
Well, you know, so, Sean, I'm hearing
excited.
2 thumbs up from Ian. Is that right?
Yep. Yes,
2
you
thumbs
are.
up. Awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
And,
seriously.
Let me go over to Matt real quick.
Oh yeah, you got to do the visual thing.
There
guys
you go.
Can see me.
So Matt, what did you think?
He did a great job writing the story, you know. And like he said, it took a lot of planning and doing it. And then this next thing, now we got to see what happens next in the story. And it's a cliffhanger there at the end. What's going to happen next? But,
right.
But you never know. It could be in other alternate realities. Could have the alternate realities collide or something. All of it collide at one time and have multi of itself around, and that'd be an interesting story.
I'll get started on cloning.
Yeah,
it won't. Yeah, it'd be nice.
I could probably do it. Like I'm looking at it. Yeah,
I can help you with cloning if you like.
You know what? I'll keep that in mind. If I need to do some cloning, yeah, I'll hit you up, Ian, because yeah, I very well might need to. Whatever's next in the pipeline. But
now, just a note, you know, and so forth. The most easiest cloning job was Roy, and I thought it would be different because of his facial features, but the lack of facial hair. If you ever cut the beard off for a month or so, like immediately get yourself good lighting, get me profiles and everything, and I will make you an excellent clone.
Like at the end of this journey with Constar the motion picture, I think it's time for a fresh face. So we'll see.
There might have to be one the in search of the Constar, the albatross has to find it.
We'll have to send the seagull and the albatross out to find it.
Yeah,
there you go.
we finally find at the edge of the Klingon system drifting.
Why not?
Yeah, that'll be good.
You write it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So you give it 2 thumbs up there, Matt?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any more
I'll probably
questions?
No, I might, Sean, I might get up with you and try to work on something like that.
All right. Well, you did that story for what was it called? Albatross Ascendants that you wrote.
Yeah.
That's something you could very easily turn into what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's talk to Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Mark Ferguson. He's also another Constar actor, Dr. Nicholas, and the movie was
Question of Balance.
Gotcha.
That was made during the COVID era.
So what'd you think? Really? Oh, okay.
You had me thinking there for a minute. When you don't have both thumbs up.
That was almost as big of a cliffhanger as.
The acting and the dialogue it was very smooth. It went together very well, I thought. And the humor and the drama, that also is very smooth. And I don't know, you must have done a lot of memorizing because those lines it flowed very well.
I walk through the script a lot, so it's of course there's things where it's like God, there's a lot that I wrote 2 years ago, so it's like what kind of a headspace was I in? Like I'll trust what I wrote, but yeah.
I like how the character uses humor to deal with fear also, or to not deal with fear. So I thought that was really cool how that went together. I was kind of wondering after the motion picture if there might be a spin-off, like a series. That would be
good
interesting.
Question. So is there going to be a spin-off for your character, Sean?
I don't have a concrete answer. What I will say is the possibility is a lot more certain than when I wrote this 2 years ago, because I wrote this as an end, but no, I do see a door possibly opening up. I'm trying to spitball some ideas. Really at the moment I'm just trying to bask in the motion picture, like that's what a journey and all that. But if I were to do a spin-off, I think at some point the USS Bluenose is going to come back into play when it comes to that, but beyond that, nothing concrete, but it's possible.
Are you gonna play timey-wimey and all that again, or are you gonna?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Things don't change. I know me. So
Sean,
one
thing could happen. It could be all a nightmare. You just wake up and it'll be all over with.
I think we've had enough flashbacks. It's
the easy way out.
I feel bad. It's like I know a lot of my plots. Like you look at films like Little Lies or Try Honesty that I've made. Even Blue Nose. Blue Nose was a solid 40 minutes of a dream, pretty much. So I do want to write things that are actually going on, but at the same time, there is that constraint of a comm box, so I need to find a way to kind of break out of that, because I think this film is a great example of how a comm box film can work. Can
you define comm box? I'm sorry if I'm ignorant to the
that's easy. Okay, what we're doing right now is a comm box video.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm calling you, you're talking to me, and the simplest comm box films are just one camera on each actor, and then they just intercut. So that's the easiest. And what we've tried to do over here is change it up a little bit. Now Vance says, get 2 angles, 3 angles, and submit those. And a lot of the actors are like, I can't do that. I only have one camera or one phone or whatever, and it's just going to be too much to do. So most of the time he only gets 1 or 2 angles. And we've been trying to shoot 3. So with our 3 angles intercut between 2 people, that's still enough variety that it looks more like a regular TV show. But it's still just a comm box. I'm calling you. We're in Starfleet. I've got to talk to you about some problem or congratulate you on your birthday or whatever. and then the story just flows from there. So that's a typical Constar style Combox movie. Does
Okay,
that make
I've never
sense?
heard of that term, but yeah, you just gave me a whole new way of thinking about this.
Okay.
No, I understand like half the films I've seen better now. Like,
Yeah,
that is a
well,
concept.
that's what it is. That's what we call them. I don't know if there's a better way, another term, but
And it became a necessity during COVID too. Like it's not even
Absolutely.
a sort of it's not a rip against Combox films. It's like, okay, here's a limitation. How can I how can I branch out from it? What can I do with this? So but yeah, anyway, back to Mark.
So what else you got?
Well, that's mainly what I'd written down. I was really interested if there'd be a spin-off series. I was kind of looking for where did you get some of the inspiration from for the character?
House, and I've covered that in the documentary because there was a Constar documentary where we were kind of responding to different questions, and I think like the sort of the foundation was House, but I think as well it was a character that I wanted to play where I kind of told myself, I was like, what would I be if I just lost all constraints on myself, like what if I didn't repress everything that was coming to my mind? There's Sanders, like he's loudmouth, he'll insult anyone, any joke he can muster, any time he can get to say there'll never be a good ship named Grissom, stuff like that. So it was kind of losing that inhibition within myself. So I like those psychological thrillers. I felt like it. I wanted it to come from a different place that wasn't just classic Star Trek. I was like, I want it to have a Star Trek skin, but the foundation of it, I want to be different.
I'm sorry, my mind is blown. This is a whole new concept to me. I'm a VFX guy, and this is a filmmaking concept.
Right. Yeah, just think of
It's
the monitor. The monitor is a communications box. So
it's a brilliant adaptation in filmmaking, though. I commend you.
In my case, get a Nintendo Switch and
now.
just put it on a green screen. That's all you gotta do.
So thanks to Vance Major and his buddies, Frank Parker and the others, who smoothed out all the wrinkles for us and made it so smooth for us. Thank you for being here, Sean. And
oh, of course, I'm glad I made it, and I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the film. And I hope you guys also tune in for Constar the motion picture, because it is going to be one hell of a ride. And all of us in that crew had an absolute blast making it. So please stop by next Sunday and have some fun. Grab some popcorn.
Excellent.
Buckle your seatbelts. You don't need it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's when we meet. So
Awesome.
It's the same thing as what we're doing right now, but it'll be for 2 hours. And then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, so get some coffee.
Yeah, you may have to take a potty break in the middle of the movie. All right. Thanks for being here, and keep in touch. We'll keep tabs on each other, and maybe we can help each other out in the future.
Absolutely.
Everybody gives you 2 thumbs up. Come on, kid. 2 thumbs up, kid. Bye.
See you later, bud.
Isn't it fun being behind the scenes like this? All right.
Hailing frequencies are closed. Transmission complete.
Special guest, Sean Reimer.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sean Reimer. I don't rhyme. I'm a content creator, fan film maker, actor, probably a few other things. I play Captain Chris Sanders in the Constar Chronicles, Constar films, Constar the motion picture, coming soon in December. Highly recommend checking out those films. I have a brand new film out called Blue Nose, which is a Constar crossover in Star Trek Online. I would highly recommend checking that out. In addition to my channel, you can just type in my name, Sean Reimer, and you'll find some profile picture on there that looks somewhat like me.